Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm Peter Gross, co-host of the original Wild Kingdom with Marlin Perkins and Jim Fowler. Most of us have seen movies or television shows where sharks have been portrayed as marauders who prey on unsuspecting swimmers or smaller fish in the sea. But many Wild Kingdom episodes illustrate how sharks and other predators are an important part of the food chain in our underwater world. Oceans cover 70% of our planet, yet we still have much to learn about this important ecosystem. Modern technology has enhanced our ability to study the oceans with minimal disruption to their habitat. Human involvement and recent legislation to protect underwater creatures allow for the resurgence of these many species. There's more good news to come in the Wild Kingdom, so sit back and enjoy Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is presented by Mutual of Omaha.
Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm sure you know how to make a long-distance telephone call. But have you ever tried to call a shark long distance? It can be done with an underwater sound projector. When submerged, it can broadcast a signal that will attract sharks at great distances. Right over here, Tom Allen has a tape recording of the kind of sound it makes.
Developed by Dr. Arthur Merberg of the University of Miami, the sound projector emits a high-frequency electronic signal. Here's what it sounds like underwater.
Along with Dr. Merberg, Tom and I were invited to Freeport, Grand Bahama Island, by two scientific organizations, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and Perry Oceanographics, famous for its underwater research equipment. While the experiments were being conducted, we made good use of several important underwater devices. A two-man wet submarine for long-distance travel under the surface. A three-man dry submarine designed for deep diving and studying terraces on continental shelves. And the Perry Hydro Lab, which has logged more bottom time than any other underwater habitat in the world. To find out if sharks can be called from a distance, Dr. Merberg needed an area where they were relatively rare. For this reason, he chose the waters around Freeport, Grand Bahama. It was from here, on the docks of the Underwater Explorers Society, that we set off for the experiment area. Weather conditions are perfect as the first leg of our journey begins. At the helm is Dave Woodward, veteran scuba diver. He'll take us out to the support ship. The exceptionally clear waters around Freeport, Grand Bahama will be ideal for our diving and observation of the scientific studies being conducted here. It doesn't take us long to reach the experiment area where our support ship, the Undersea Hunter, is standing by. Fortunately, the sea is calm today, so we'll have no trouble coming alongside. The skipper, Al Theodis, signals they're ready to take us aboard. Waiting for us on deck is the founder and president of Perry Oceanographics, John Perry, Jr. John is a pioneer in the development of underwater research equipment. Together with his son, Hap, they check us out on their long-range underwater taxi, the Shark Hunter. This two-man wet submarine will provide our transportation.
The best way to get there is swim.
The Shark Hunter is called a wet submarine because the cockpit isn't watertight. So Marlin and I will use scuba gear. The little sub provides scuba divers with protection against sharks and other predators and greatly increases the diver's range of operation. Everything is ready for our first dive, and the skipper sends us on our way. Our Shark Hunter is designed to operate at depths down to 150 feet and is propelled by an electric motor. The hull and wings are its ballast tanks. Once they're flooded, the sub has neutral buoyancy and is ready to dive. The Shark Hunter is easy to maneuver. The diving planes and rudder are controlled by an airplane-type joystick. It's exactly like flying underwater. The sub's long-range capability will come in handy when Marlin and I explore distant waters for sharks.
Just ahead is the Hydrolab, the underwater habitat sponsored by the Perry Foundation and the Bahamas Undersea Research Foundation. The sharks will be called to this area. If the experiment is successful and the sharks arrive, they'll be visible from the Hydrolab, one of our observation posts. But for the experiment to succeed, sharks must first be found some distance away from the Hydrolab. So Tom and I now start to explore those distant waters. We are headed for a place where sharks sometimes are seen. If there are sharks in these waters, this is where they'll be. Our search is successful. There are sharks here. The question now is, can they be called to the Hydrolab? There's the PC-8, the Perry dry sub designed for deep diving. It's time to rendezvous on the surface. Before conducting our shark calling experiment, a dive to 600 feet in the PC-8 was scheduled to investigate marine life below depths where divers usually go. We are now out of the shark territory, so it'll be safe for me to transfer to the dry sub for the deep dive. The PC-8 is being used for marine geological studies, which are conducted by NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. Representing NOAA is a famous marine geologist, Dr. Robert F. Dill. Dr. Dill will be in charge of this dive. Tom will dive again in the wet sub and meet us at the first observation level below. We'll take a look at the marine life there.
Although Marlin and Dr. Dill will dive much deeper in the PC-8, we'll meet here first. This is the 50-foot level. The first species we encounter is a school of grunts. Grunts get their name from the sound they make.
The PC-8 special flood lamps are ideal for underwater filming. With them, we see everything in its actual color. Without them, everything would have a blue cast. That orange mass is a living, breathing sponge. Dr. Dill tries to get Tom's attention. There's a hermit crab nearby. Although he's called a hermit, he's very interested in his environment, which he investigates with his antenna and eyes mounted on stalks for better visibility. The hermit is a nomad, for he keeps moving from shell to shell each time he outgrows the old one. The hermit crab lives in somebody else's home, but the jawfish builds his house by digging a hole in the bottom. He waits for plankton to float by, then pops up like a jack-in-the-box and eats it. From this vantage point, we can observe fish that do not have protective shelters. Their protection against predators is camouflage. This grouper, for example, changes colors like a chameleon to blend in with his surroundings. During the daytime, the French grunt is yellow with shadowy stripes. For nighttime protection, his colors become a tawny gray cloak. Another unusual fish is the blue parrot. To obtain his food, he grinds up coral searching for tiny organisms. In doing so, he creates much of the sand in these waters. It is now time for our deep dive. Tom will return to the surface while Dr. Dill and I look for deep underwater terraces formed by low and ancient sea levels. Our dive begins from this ledge. Deep terraces can't be found by conventional echo sounding, so their existence was unknown until deep diving submarines became available for research. Now with subs like the PC-8, Dr. Dill and other marine geologists can study terraces for the first time. The ocean's secrets are indeed deep and dark. The deeper we dive, the more we depend on artificial light. Colors become muted at these depths, and even the coral is black. There's a terrace, a small prehistoric beach created by a lower sea level thousands of years ago. It will reveal important facts about our planet's history. The increased pressure ruptures one of our flood lamps, creating what looks like a metallic waterfall. Dr. Dill reminds me that during the Ice Age, glaciers converted huge amounts of water into ice. sea levels dropped so low that man actually walked between Asia and America. We've reached the bottom, and this is as far as we go. The PC-8 surfaced in the area where we were to meet Dr. Merberg. Next step, find out if his underwater sound projector would call sharks from a distance. It will be necessary for me to leave the PC-8 to participate in the shark calling experiment, which will be conducted from this boat. On deck, everything seems to be ready. The shark study is supported by the Office of Naval Research, and it's conducted by a prominent marine biologist from the University of Miami, Dr. Arthur Merberg. He tells me that Tom is on his way to his observation post and that I should go below and take my position in the hydro lab. From here, I'll be able to see the underwater sound projector. If the experiment is successful, I'll also be able to watch the sharks as they come into view.
While Marlin watches the experiment from the hydrolab, my observation post will be a nearby shark cage. I'm right on schedule and should be in the shark cage long before Dr. Merberg starts the shark calling experiment.
These underwater habitats are important because they enable scientists to make prolonged studies under reasonably normal living conditions. From here, I should be able to study the shark behavior at close range.
This is an excellent observation post, since I can see the sharks approaching from all directions.
From where I sit, I can see Dr. Merberg's boat. He should be ready by now to start the experiment. The sound projector is perhaps the most important piece of equipment. It must be lowered for the purposes of this project until it rests within 3 feet of the bottom. The sound projector is now in position, and Dr. Merberg will begin transmitting the shark signal. He's using a broadband sound consisting of many tones and frequencies. No sharks yet, but those garden eels, as always, seem to be on guard. Dr. Merberg will now increase the volume of the sound. It worked. Our first shark, a lemon shark, considered very dangerous to man. The shark is attracted to the sound, which is similar to that made by an injured fish, but he's confused. More company, a second lemon. And a third. still more company.
The curiosity of the shark, like his appetite, seems insatiable. That big fellow is a nurse shark. They're not considered dangerous unless provoked.
Dr. Merberg's experiment proves sharks can hear sounds from a distance. I'm glad I'm observing this behavior from the safety and comfort of the hydro lab. From the hungry shark's point of view, the experiment was a total failure. But for Dr. Arthur Merberg, it was a distinct success, providing another insight into the world of the shark. The human race is now faced with the twin problems of increasing population and decreasing resources. The conclusion is inescapable. If we're to thrive in the future, scientists must continually strive to find ways of tapping the rich resources of our oceans for food, for fuel, yes, even for living quarters. Man, in short, must increase his marine knowledge and technology as fast as possible. Thanks to countless individuals and institutions like NOAA and Perry Oceanographics, the future is bright. With the research being done all over the world by scientific organizations like these, man can better utilize and protect the resources of the oceans, by far the largest and richest part of the wild kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha has presented Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Like what you saw? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more exclusive content. And visit our website at wildkingdom.com.